So if you've tried improving your English and nothing works, for years you've not seen any improvement, and you freeze in conversation, I'm going to tell you exactly why. And it's not your level of English. I'm David De Ath, and I've spent the last 5 years coaching entrepreneurs, 6 to 7 figure CEOs, and other successful professionals to speak with confidence and authority in English. I've done over 3,000 coaching calls and worked with hundreds of people. And the ones who I see who get the biggest improvements all do the same thing. And everyone else who's stuck is missing this. So it's important to understand it's not your English. It's not how much you study. It's not about learning more words. It's a confidence problem. Whatever level of English you think you have, if you can understand me now, then you can speak in English with confidence. It's always the same mindset shift. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk through 3 things that separate speakers who flow from speakers who freeze, and the one mindset shift that makes all of this actually work. First, flow beats perfection. For years, I saw everyone in my industry, other English teachers and coaches, teaching the exact same stuff. Literally the same grammar translation method that they've been teaching since the early 1800s. Study grammar, memorize vocabulary, translate sentences, read texts, write exercises, take tests. And one day I realized something that changed the way I think about learning English forever. A few years ago, I worked with an entrepreneur. He was improving way faster than my other clients. I wasn't doing anything different with him. It's not like he was smarter than everyone else. He didn't know more words, and he wasn't particularly gifted at learning languages. He just had a different mindset. I saw that the guys who were struggling focused only on their mistakes. They were stuck focusing inwards. Their attention was always stuck in their head. This guy that got it, the only difference he made was this: he didn't pause when he spoke. He didn't care about mistakes. Even if he made a mistake, he would keep going. And that shift is so important. And I reframed my view of learning English on that day. I realized the goal for my clients isn't better English. A teacher can improve your English. ChatGPT can improve your English. You can get vocabulary, you can get grammar corrections. This is about speaking English with confidence. And for that, you do need to have a different mindset. So I taught this idea of flow to more people, and they were all getting amazing results. Amazing results really fast. And so here's what this means. Everybody else was focusing on their English, on their grammar, vocabulary, textbooks, apps, which really is what they were doing for years and not really seeing any proper improvements. Maybe a little here, but nothing serious. So what I learned is that you need to speak without stopping. And that's the idea of flow. Your English is like a flowing river. If an obstacle appears, you don't crash into it. You don't resist it. You flow around it. You don't freeze. You don't hesitate. You just flow. You keep speaking. Your English is like a river. So this is the exact concept I want you to have in your head for the rest of this video. Flow like a river. Don't avoid conversations. Don't freeze. Don't hesitate. Keep speaking. Keep flowing. When you actually do this, the hesitation fades away. You start speaking more confidently. You worry less about how you sound. You start speaking fluent English really fast. And it changes how people see you. People trust you quicker. They respect you more, and they're more engaged by what you have to say. So here's a question to ask yourself the next time you're speaking to anyone in English. Could I speak without stopping? Not trying to be perfect, Not with perfect grammar, and certainly not perfect vocabulary. Just, can I keep the conversation moving forward? If the answer's yes, then you will speak fluent English. That is the exact definition of flowing, not freezing. It doesn't matter how well you speak. It doesn't matter if you feel awkward. It's about commitment. If you do this, if you repeat this, if you put in the reps, you will speak fluently. For example, the next time you talk with an English-speaking client or colleague and you forget a word, just ask them, what's the word for brain doctor? Keep talking. Flow around the obstacle. Describe what you're trying to say. Don't freeze. If you're in a meeting, if you can't pronounce the word, just say a simpler word. Who cares? Or if you're golfing and they talk about finance and you feel out of your depth, don't stop. Just keep speaking. What's the worst that can happen? Are you worried about being embarrassed? Come on. So the perspective is simple. Speak whenever you can in English, even when it's embarrassing, even when it's a bit difficult, even when it's scary. That's it. Next, clarity beats complexity. The second lesson completely changed how I think about how we measure success in fluency. About a year ago, I was working with a partner in a law firm, a very smart, very successful woman. Her English was excellent and she had a huge vocabulary. But in practice, she wasn't confident. She'd freeze, she'd prepare her thoughts before speaking, she'd speak super quickly, like she just wanted to get it over with. And I remember thinking, if she could just get out of her own way, she'd be the smartest person in the room by a mile. Then one day, I tried something completely different. The problem was she was trying to sound fluent, more professional, more confident, more authoritative, all at once in English. She is all of these things in her native language, but in English, that's just going to cause overwhelm. I told her to stop trying so hard. Don't try to sound like a native speaker when you're not yet fluent. Your goal is not to impress people with your English. Your goal is to communicate effectively, to be understood. Focus on the audience, not yourself. Speak slowly. There's no rush. Speak using simple words, no long sentences. The goal here is clarity, not perfection. And it was a night and day difference. She later told me she gave an internal presentation at work in English. And all of the other partners said it was the best out of all of the presentations on that day. And so, once I figured this out, I finally understood something that changes how you should think about fluency. It's not about being fancy. You're not going to magically start talking like a native speaker overnight. Your goal has to be an effective communicator. This is the true definition of fluency. Focus outward, not inward. Speak slowly and clearly. Speak using simple words and keep your sentences short. It's simple, but it works. Effective English communication comes from being clear, not complex. For example, the next time you're talking to a colleague or client and you're to say something complicated, just use simple words. It comes with practice, but once you get into the habit of doing it, it becomes easy. If someone asks you a hard question in English, just slow down. Short sentences, clear answer. Don't try to sound clever. Make it easy to understand, and it will be. Remember, the best English speakers are not looking for validation. They are looking to be understood, to communicate their message, share their ideas, build authority, and grow into English-speaking markets. And now you know exactly how to do the same. So I worked with a retired Nike leader from China. He wanted to teach his grandkids English, but he hadn't spoken English in years. He had his English clarity at a 5, and he was super determined to get it to a 10. We worked with him over 12 weeks, and he achieved this goal. The words came flooding back, following this method. Simpler words, shorter sentences, clearer ideas. It's about training fluency like a muscle. It's simple. It works. Stop trying to sound so advanced. The best communicators Focus on being understood. Now, one thing before I keep going, if you're getting value out of this video, I want to tell you about something. If you actually want to speak with more confidence, like the client stories I've been sharing, then I would encourage you to schedule a call. If you want to speak with me personally and find out how I can help you, the link is in the description below. And let's get back into the video. Third, fluency is built under pressure. Now here's the third part of the framework, and this is like pouring gas on the fire. Here's what I mean. I personally coach a lot of entrepreneurs. I identify the problem and fear holding them back. I work with them one-on-one to overcome these problems. And over the years, not to brag, I've gotten really good at it. And the one thing that speeds up their fluency like nothing else, confident and fluent English, not in years or months, but in weeks, is speaking English under pressure and turning up that pressure valve. If I asked you, where do you fear speaking English the most? You might say on stage, in a presentation, on a podcast, talking to clients. These are high pressure moments, right? And although these are difficult situations, they're actually the highest leverage items to improve your fluency. So whatever that situation is for you that you hate, train for that. The exact situations you're trying to avoid, role plays, debates, presentations, go on podcasts, do interviews, by throwing yourself in the deep end, you can practice for the high pressure situations before they happen. Get the reps in and build your fluency muscle fast. It's what I helped the lawyer I mentioned present in English. It's what helped one of Turkey's top surgeons prepare for a move to an Australian hospital in just 90 days. Just last week, it had a massive impact on a business owner in Dubai. It's the hard part, but it has the biggest payoff. I'm actually going to do a whole video on this concept because there's a deeper pattern here that's worth having its own breakdown. But for now, here's what you need to know. Your biggest gains come from repetition under pressure. It's a multiplier. Speak more, speak under pressure, and you see the results in a very short space of time. And for those of you watching this right now thinking, what do debates or role plays have to do with improving my English? Well, I'm telling you right now, the more uncomfortable you feel, the quicker your fluency improves. Think about the biggest wins you've had in your business or practice. Those were hard-won gains. They didn't come so easily. So why should English, arguably the biggest opportunity for any non-native business owners, be any different? And so the third part of this process, again, is simple. Speak English under pressure. Embrace the embarrassment. It will pay off. It's part of the process. So that's flow like a river. Clarity over complexity. Turn up the pressure. All three are part of the same shift. Stop avoiding English and start speaking it consistently under pressure. Because if you've watched this far and something in you is saying, okay, I get it, I understand what you're saying, but I can't really do this, I want to name what's underneath that thought. The reason people don't make this shift isn't because they don't understand the strategy or the theory. They know they need to speak more. They know they need to stop chasing perfection. They know they need to stop hiding from high-pressure situations. The real reason is quieter. It's something they don't usually say out loud. They don't believe their English is good enough yet. It's the belief that fluent speakers have something you don't. Natural confidence, a language gift, a better brain, some special ability to speak without fear. And so, even when you understand everything I've walked you through, you still hesitate. You still prepare too much. You still avoid the meetings. You still let someone else speak first. You play it safe because deep down, you're waiting to become the kind of person who can speak confidently in English. But that isn't going to happen on its own. Confident English isn't something that comes over time, or you'd have it by now. It's a stack you build over time. Flow is one layer, clarity is another layer, pressure is another layer. The people speaking confidently aren't winning because they have something you don't. They're winning because they made the shift. They stopped trying to be perfect. They stopped trying to sound more sophisticated. They started putting themselves under pressure. Again, none of this is natural talent. These are skills you build, and the more you train them, the more comfortable they become. And here's the part most people don't see. When you start speaking confidently in English, you don't just improve your English, you start opening doors that were already there. You speak up in meetings you used to avoid. You build relationships with clients you used to feel nervous around. You share ideas people never got to hear before. You stop hiding behind preparation. And suddenly, English isn't the only thing holding you back anymore. And that's the point. English confidence doesn't come from avoiding pressure. It comes from proving to yourself again and again that you can handle it. These are opportunities you can't access if you stay quiet. You can't build authority in a meeting you never speak in. You can't win English-speaking clients if you're afraid to explain your ideas. You can't become confident in high-pressure situations by avoiding high-pressure situations. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, that's easy for them, but I'm not like that, let me give you one more example. I worked with a client who had strong English already, but phone calls terrified him. Video was much easier. In person was easier, but phone calls? No facial expressions, no body language, no time to prepare, just listening and responding in real time. That was pressure. So we trained that exact situation. No more grammar, no more vocabulary, just the pressure point. And that's the pattern. Find the situation that scares you, train it, repeat it, until it stops feeling scary. I want to walk you through this entire process, because confident English is not magic, it's not talent, it's not being born with a special language brain, it's a process. Flow like a river. Stop trying to be perfect and keep speaking. Clarity beats complexity. Stop trying to sound advanced and focus on being clear and understood. Pressure builds fluency. Stop avoiding the situations that scare you and start training for them. That's the whole stack. And when you do this, English stops being something you study and starts becoming something you can actually use. And the people who improve fastest are not the people who keep convincing themselves they need more English. They're the ones who decide, I'm going to use the English I already have. Because you don't need to keep convincing people your English is perfect. People just need to feel that you are clear, confident, and convinced. Now, in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to practice this. The simple speaking exercise I use with my clients to help them stop freezing, find their flow, and start speaking more confidently in English. So if you got something from this video, subscribe, like, share it with your friends and colleagues and employees and anyone else who needs it, and I'll see you in the next video.